Okay, now let me just share the itinerary here. Okay, there we go. So this is actually three different trips in one. So the full trip, known as the Super Induction Plus, is Thursday, July 17th through Wednesday, July 30th. The Ballpark Bonanza also starts on July 17th, and then it runs through day 8, which would be Thursday, July 24th in the morning. And then the evening of July 24th is when the Induction Plus starts. So if, depending on what trip you're on, as we're going through the itinerary, I'll tell you where one stops and one begins. And then if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. There's not a tremendous, excuse me, there's not a tremendous number of people on the call. So if you want to raise your hand and we can answer questions as we go, but we'll certainly take time at the end to answer as many questions as people have. So hopefully all of you have received your link with your final documents. You'll be able to see this itinerary. You'll be able to print it out. You'll be able to make sure that you have the cell phone number for Gary. We ask you that if you have any questions prior to the start of your trip, though, you call us at the office, the 800-662-4424 number, and we'll be able to answer any questions. But once your trip started, then certainly use the number that we've provided for Gary. All right, so starting out on day one, this is July 17th, arriving in Cleveland by 4 p.m. and making your way to the Hilton Garden Inn Cleveland downtown. This property is ideally situated. It's literally just across the street from the ballpark and within easy walking distance to many things right in downtown Cleveland. That first night, you're going to check in with Gary at 5:30 p.m. just in the front lobby of the hotel. There'll be a hospitality desk, and you'll see Gary set up there. And then there'll be a trip reception at 6 p.m. at Harvey's Grill and Bar. This is a great place to get to know everyone that's on the trip, have a light meal and non-alcoholic beverages. The rest of the evening is just at leisure to explore Cleveland. And then the next morning, we'll be off and running on Friday, July 18th after breakfast. We're going to head to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which is just a short distance away. You'll have plenty of opportunity to see all the history of rock and roll, see a lot of artifacts, hear a lot of music, and even enjoy lunch on your own at the Hall of Fame. Later on in the day for game time, we'll walk from the hotel just over to Progressive Field. Like I said, it's just across the street, and we'll walk over early enough for those that want to see batting practice. The next day after breakfast, we're heading to Pittsburgh. It's not too long, just about maybe a 2.5 hour drive. And upon arrival, we'll be checking into the Embassy Suites Pittsburgh downtown in the heart of downtown Pittsburgh. The game time is at 6:40, so we'll be departing at 4:30 to give you guys plenty of time to watch batting practice. If there is any leisure time in Pittsburgh, the hotel is ideally situated about 2.5 blocks from one of the light rail stations that's actually underground in that part of Pittsburgh. And it sits within the free fare zone, so that you've got about 5 different stations that you can travel to without having to buy a ticket on the light rail system. And so day 4, we'll be heading to Washington, D.C. after breakfast, and we'll be arriving in time for a day game between the Pirates and the, oh, I'm sorry, we're, looks like we might have that in, no, oh, so, okay, yeah, I'm sorry, I got totally fouled up on this. So it's Sunday, it's a day game in Pittsburgh. After the game, we're leaving to Washington, D.C., and then we'll check into the Hampton Inn and Suites at the Navy Yard, which is right by Nationals Park in D.C. The remaining time that night will be at leisure to explore D.C. The hotel itself is just about a block away from the Navy Yard Ballpark Station on the D.C. Metro, so that'll give you access to the whole city pretty easily. The next morning, we'll be doing a city tour of DC. It'll be about a half-day city tour. It'll really show you a lot of the monuments and a lot of the sites of the District of Columbia. It's a great city with beautiful architecture. And then the game time that evening is at 6:45, and the Nationals will be hosting the Reds. One of the nice things about the hotel, to take a chance to take a peek, is they do have a rooftop lobby, or excuse me, a rooftop bar. And you can't quite see into the stadium, but you do have great views of the stadium and great views of DC. So I strongly suggest taking a ride up to, I think it's the 7th or 8th floor, and at least taking a look if you have some time. Next morning, Tuesday, July 22nd, it'll be off to Philadelphia. One change here, if you haven't already noted it, we found out recently that the National Constitution Center is actually closed on Tuesdays, so we have replaced that with the Liberty Bell. We're going to view the Liberty Bell, which is just a very short distance from the Wyndham, which is located in the heart of the historic district. Lunch will be on your own. There's a lot of restaurants in a couple blocks radius of where you'll be. And you're also close to many of the noted historic attractions in Philadelphia, such as Independence Hall, Carpenter's Hall, the Benjamin Franklin House, and also Old City. Just some great old, 300-year-old architecture in that part of the city. That evening's game will be a great matchup between the Red Sox and the Phillies at Citizens Bank Park. And then the next morning, July 23rd, we'll be heading to New York City. We'll be going up for a day game between the Mets and the Angels at Citi Field. And then leisure time back at the hotel, which is the Sheraton Times Square. Also ideally located. Basically, you come out of the hotel, and I think just around the corner is a subway station. So with your free time, if you have any, you can certainly explore different areas of the city. But there's a lot to see and do just within a couple of blocks of the hotel, because you're right in the heart of Times Square. The next morning, Thursday, July 24th, this is where the Ballpark Bonanza trip ends, and those travelers that are on that trip will make their way to the airport for flights home. But we'll be heading off to Boston. And when we arrive in Boston that afternoon, that evening, the Induction Plus travelers will be joining us. The afternoon and evening will be at leisure, staying at the Sheraton Boston. You're in a great location to explore the Back Bay area. There's shops, there's restaurants, all within super easy walking distance. In fact, the hotel is connected to a mall. It gives lots of different options for eating, and just a great place to be close to the ballpark and close to things to see and do in Boston. Friday, day 9, July 25th, after breakfast, we're going to depart and go back to Fenway, or go over to Fenway for a stadium tour. I just took the stadium tour at the end of June, and I tell you, the Fenway Park staff does a great job. It's a beautiful park, and there's a lot to see besides the field itself. One of my highlights was being up on the Green Monster, taking some pictures, but also they've got a very nice little vegetable garden that they use for some of their sweet catering. That's just not quite behind the Green Monster, but it's in that area. So lots to look at and lots to see, and a lot of history for the tour. The afternoon time will be at leisure before heading back to Fenway, where the Dodgers will be taking on the hometown Red Sox. The next day, we will be heading to Cooperstown. It's induction weekend. We'll be arriving in the early afternoon. You'll have the rest of the day at leisure to explore Main Street, to explore the Hall of Fame. The one thing that you want to prepare for on Saturday evening is the 6 p.m. Parade of Legends. This is where all of the returning Hall of Famers parade down Main Street in the order of the year that they were inducted into the Hall of Fame. And so then ending with the class of 2025. Afterwards, then we'll depart Cooperstown and head to the hotel in Albany. where we'll want to get a good night's sleep because we're back to Cooperstown the next day for the induction. We'll arrive at the Clark Sports Center approximately 9:30 a.m. Once you're at the Sports Center, though, the Hall of Fame and the Village of Cooperstown have provided free shuttles that just loop between the induction site and Main Street, which is just about a mile away. That way you can go back up into the hall. You can go back and explore the many shops, especially the many baseball related shops on Main Street, and then just be back in time for the induction. The last bus departs at 1, but we suggest being in line before by no later than 12:30 to get that shuttle back to the induction site so that you can be in place into your reserved seating in time for the 1:30 start of the induction. After the induction, we'll go back to the hotel, and the rest of the evening will be at leisure. And then day 12, back into Cooperstown. And the big event that morning at 10:30 is the Road to Cooperstown live event at Doubleday Field. This is basically a question and answer session with the living members of the class of 2025, hosted by a moderator. They tell a lot of stories about their playing career, and it's one of my favorite events because the kind of, I guess, the stress and the anxiety of giving your acceptance speech is over, and the players seem to be much more at ease, and there's a lot of banter back and forth between the different players. Many of them have known each other during their playing careers and have interacted a lot. So it's a great opportunity to hear stories that may involve multiple Hall of Famers at the same time.
Cool.
We will have lunch in Cooperstown before departing for New York City. And we'll be, for those that are on the full trip, we'll be back at the Sheraton New York Times Square. For those that are on the Induction Plus, we'll be going into New York City for the first time. And the remainder of the evening in New York will be at leisure. And the next day, after breakfast, we're going to head up to Yankee Stadium for a stadium tour. This is also a great stadium tour that they give at Yankee Stadium, where you can hear them repeat time after time that the Yankees are 27-time world champions. But one of my favorite parts of the tour is going into the museum and seeing a lot of the memorabilia that's there. It's an exciting tour, and you also get to visit Monument Park, where all of the retired Yankees numbers are. After the stadium tour, we'll start a city tour of New York City for about a half of the day, and then back to the hotel with enough time to freshen up before heading back up to the Bronx and Yankee Stadium for a game against the Rays at 7:05. And then our last day, day 14, is departures at leisure. Some of you may have added an extra night to your stay, so you won't necessarily be checking out, but it'll be say goodbye to all of the guests and say goodbye to Gary, and hopefully come back and see us on another baseball road trip or one of our other many sports travel programs. So let me unshare my screen and let's see if we have any questions. Okay, there we go. So does anyone have any questions, not just on the itinerary, but on any of the cities, ballparks, or especially about induction weekend?
Do you have any idea when you'll be arriving in Philadelphia on the 22nd?
Well, let's see. So we'll be leaving DC. Yeah, we should be able to get to Philadelphia by about it'll be right before lunchtime. Unless something happens on the roadway where we're stuck in traffic. It's typically just about a 2.5-hour drive between DC and Philadelphia.
Okay.
Is there something, Gordon, you want to try to see or do?
No, I would just I'm going to be joining the tour there in Philadelphia, and
Oh, yay.
yeah, and I'm going to come in the night before and then transfer it over to the hotel where you're meeting. And I just wanted to make sure to make connections with you guys. And
Gotcha.
look like you're going to check in. No, you're leaving for the ballpark about 5. Is that right?
Yeah. What probably would be a good thing to do is that morning, maybe shoot Gary a text message and then he can kind of update you. It's like, hey, we've left the hotel and now we're, on I-95. We're coming into Delaware. We're an hour away. He can kind of give you an
Mhm.
update and keep you posted.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna try to hit your tour or anything. I just wanna
No,
get together and hang out with you.
Gordon,
Yeah.
we're gonna spend a little bit of time over by the Liberty Bell and Independence Mall area. So, for two reasons. Number one, to have lunch, enjoy some of the historical spots that obviously Philadelphia is famous for, and then as well be able to have the hotel ready for us to check in. Because
Okay.
if we showed up at noon, we probably wouldn't be able to get our rooms yet. So it's kind of a combination of seeing some sights and sounds in Philly. And the hotel that we're staying at is really, if you're there early, which you will be, we're just going to be. It's a short walk from the hotel over to the Liberty Bell. I mean, it's
Okay.
just a couple of blocks away.
It's less than 3 blocks. It's about 2.5 blocks, so it's
Yeah.
very close.
Okay.
And
Sounds-
it's flat. It's flat in that part of the city. So
Yes, it is. That's true.
Gordon, you can find us the perfect cheesesteak.
now you've got your assignment.
You-
That's it. We'll
I
find you.
gotta
We
see
always
you
find you.
again?
We always find you. We
Yeah,
pull
they
up in
do.
buses
This
and-
is 4 in a row.
I know. I didn't get an itinerary. I was just looking. I was looking through my emails from emailing you guys. I never got a final itinerary.
I will follow up with that, Stacy, and make sure one gets out to you by tomorrow morning.
Okay. Okay. We've had my mail service has been. We've got a new road, a new
Oh, well,
telephone pole.
it's so two things. One, we did send out an email
Okay.
with an electronic version, but then you also should have received a small little
Yeah.
and I don't have the one that normally I have with me, but a small little
Okay.
packet that would have a QR code that would access the online itinerary. So I will follow up with both of that and
Yeah.
make sure that
Okay.
you've
There
got
you
both
go.
of those.
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah.
Daniel is showing you what he got in the mail. So
If
it's
you
just
put it close enough, I can take. I'll take
Yeah,
a picture of it.
it's just a card with a QR code. Michael could
Okay.
probably email that to you. And the itinerary itself, you should have gotten that already emailed to you as well.
Yeah, I was looking from Denise and Anthony and you guys. I don't have anything. So
It,
Yeah,
it probably would have come from info at Sports Travel and Tours. So maybe check your spam
Yeah.
filter. I know sometimes they end up
Okay.
going there whenever it's a info account type email.
okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing it, but okay.
It would have
Thank
been
you.
in the last. It would have just been in the last couple of days.
We'll just keep calling Gary. Gary.
You know more than
Good.
oh.
I know, right? Well, funny.
And-
there's two screens here with me. One of them is Chad. Is the other one? He's actually on a
Okay.
train in Boston right now. I believe he's going through the. He's on a train right now in Boston. He lives in Boston, so if you have
Okay.
Boston questions, so
Nice. All right. Does anyone else have any questions? Daniel, I think you're muted. I can't hear you.
No,
No,
now he's muted.
now he's muted.
Hi, my name is Julie Plessner, and I just want to introduce myself. I'm actually going to be on the Hall of Fame tour that stays in Cooperstown, and then you guys have been kind enough to let me jump onto the tail end of your tour to go to New York City on that
okay.
on that Monday.
Correct.
So I just wanted to make sure. I think Gary's the one I need to coordinate with to get all my luggage somehow from our hotel, which I don't know where it is, somewhere in Cooperstown, over to where you guys are.
Yeah, I will probably be helping connect with that on Monday to make sure we'll reach out to you and make sure that that's all signed, sealed, and delivered.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, I mean, it'll be me and my nephew, so we're really looking forward to this.
No problem.
Yeah, that Julie, that transfer shouldn't be any problem at all. You'll just have to check out of your hotel, of course,
Okay, yep.
and then you'll put your luggage in the bus, and then Gary is going to be at the same. You're going to be at the same event on Monday, so it's just a matter of hooking up the buses
Okay.
before you
we'll
leave.
make sure your luggage gets from the bus that you were on to the bus that you need to be on.
Right. All right, thanks.
Yeah, not a problem. Good. We're glad that all worked out with not much problem.
Yeah, it was perfect because my birthday's actually on the day of the Yankee game. I didn't want to fly home on my birthday, so it worked out perfectly. So be at
Oh,
Yankee
excellent.
Stadium.
Oh, that's good. Where is home?
Seattle.
Oh,
So
Seattle. Great. Oh, that's why you're heading to New York, because that way you can fly nonstop.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I lived in the Seattle area from age 4 to 8 before the Mariners were there, before the Seahawks were there. It was when they only had the Supersonics, which now aren't there.
Exactly. Yeah, you had to bring that up. So it's very nice meeting you guys. I'm looking forward to this, and yeah, thanks for coordinating and let me enjoy two of the packages here. So appreciate it.
No problem. All right. Does anyone else have any questions? And I will preface, you can always reach out to us. If you don't want to ask questions on the Zoom call, certainly please reach out via phone, via email, however you need to. We can always take time to answer any questions about the program, about the induction weekend, or any other aspect of our business.
Gary, are you on Venmo for tips and stuff?
I didn't open an account.
You don't have an account. Okay.
I have one that I can gladly send you, and you can just pay them to me.
Yeah, send it to Mike.
I was just gonna say, you can send them to me, I'll send them to Gary. I promise.
Yeah,
You
I've
get a
heard that
cut.
before.
You get a little cut, right?
Yeah.
Pay him in Girl Scout cookies.
Oh, that sounds tempting.
Well, you guys are in for a real treat. If you're taking the full trip, any part of the trip, it really is, the places that you're going are all absolutely awesome. So thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate the business, and we hopefully can bring home a lot of smiles, which we typically do. It sounds like we've got a number of past travelers, of course, who are haunting one another, following one another here.
Mhm.
Yeah, and the one thing that I just thought of that I'll double. I don't know if anyone has received an invitation to a Zoom meeting for next week on Tuesday that is specifically for induction weekend. But I think I'll make sure that everyone on these trips gets that invite as well, because we are doing a similar Zoom meeting that's just going to go over induction weekend. It'll go over induction Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And that could be beneficial for any of you that are either on the Super Induction Plus or the Induction Plus that goes to Cooperstown for the induction on that Sunday. So I'll make sure that gets emailed out to everyone that's on those two trips, because it might be beneficial. And we do record them, so we, like this one, and so we do send out that link after the fact, and you can always watch them at leisure if you can't attend. All right. Well, if there's no other questions, I'd like to thank everyone for taking time out of their evening. I'd also like to thank the weather, which was looking extremely threatening up until about 20 minutes before we started, and I haven't seen any flashes out my window, so it's been looking good. It seems like this year, every one of these that we've done, the weather on my end has been less than stellar. So have a good evening, and we'll see you on the road.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Night,
Thank you.
everybody.
Bye, everybody. Bye, Chad.